Howdy, howdy. Are y'all ready for the craziness that is my die cuts that are all my new ones? Um, some of these are brand new. Um, well, they're all, some of the subjects or the themes are new. Others I bought to add to what I already had. Like I had a small, for example, I had a small collection of snowflakes. So I bought a couple of extra sets of snowflakes to make it a big set to then die cut and put in my Etsy shop. Actually, played the advent calendar game on Temu, and one of my free gifts was a 100 count pack of white shimmer paper. Got that specifically for my snowflakes. So, um, if you like snowflakes, keep an eye out, and we'll get to those. But here, I also have another problem. Is I bought this set. This doesn't fit in my manual Sizzix machine, in my Big Shot. It would fit in my Switch, but my Switch went out in my Sizzix Switch. So until I can find somebody to maybe fix it, I'm kind of dead in the water with it. I can't do anything with it. So I can't cut that one out. But I have all of these. All of these that I'm gonna show you today in this video. It's gonna be longer than the 15-minute paper video. Obviously there's a lot to these. But let's just go. So this is a set of slant pockets, slotted pockets, as I call them, as well. I debated on whether just adding these to my previous slotted pocket set that I sell on my Etsy, but because these are multiple layers and they're decorative, I decided to leave these in their own listing. And they will come fully assembled. So that means you're gonna have to like what my style, I guess. They are not only are they slotted. Let me find. Let me find a card of some sort. So not only are they slotted, so you got a pocket here, and you got a pocket here. So this one you can either go like this and have it come out like a band, or you can slide it in between and into this back pocket as well. And then this is a pocket. I opted not to leave this top open as a pocket, which I could have, and may do upon request. They also each have their own individual lacy topping, as you can see in my samples here. Trying to stay on camera. But they're also gusseted. So you fold this flap and this flap and this flap back. It's wanting to fold on the perforation line rather than the score line at the moment. Which, you could, but it won't line up. It'll bend here. Sorry, you can probably hear the baby goaties in the background. I'm watching Steinmetz Family Farm. So you may need to score these a little bit better in order to get them to fold back. So the two sides and the bottom. A lot of these are gusseted like this. I'm not going to display this on each individual one because you'll see how this works. So it's got these little flaps, and you glue the flaps down so that way you have the entire length and the entire height of the pocket as a pocket, versus if they were flat and you glued here, here, and here, you'd lose those millimeters of the glue line of your pocket. So doing the gussets provides you the full real estate of your pockets. So this one, you get 5 pockets in a set. So you got one that's got a cute curve, one that's arced, one that's angled, one that's straight, and then another slant, but it's straight lines versus curvy lines. Ooh, that's hard to see on the yellow. So got a pocket there and a little pocket right here. Plus, obviously, once you glue it into your book, this back here becomes a big pocket. So that is one of my new die sets. And like I said, they will be their own listing on Etsy. So there's one. Whoop. This is another set of pockets. And again, they're gusseted as well. So it's got different tops so that your pockets can go in different ways. So I have one up, one pointy, one inverted angle. There's a flower, I guess you'd call it. Cute little wave. A thumb notch. A forward arc. And then this pocket has slots in it. Now this is its own die. So with these, there will be an option for, in the order, to have the slots cut in this or not. They have to be done manually. You can only be doing one at a time because they only have one. They only give you one little slot. But this, all this is you're putting this in like this, and you're centering it between your two gusset folds, running it through the die machine, moving it, running, and doing as many slots as you want on there. So when these go on my Etsy, having the slots will be an option for the buyer. Excuse me. So they can be either just straight pockets or they can be slot pockets, depending on what they wish. Right. Whoop. This next one, no printout, like this, because they're pretty self-explanatory. You've got a pocket base. Again, has the gusset folds. These pockets are automatically cut out when this goes through the machine. And then it's got these pieces that you cut out of a different paper to decorate the pockets. And then it comes with 6 dies, 2 of each style. So these 2 have the heart on the top. These 2 are just round with a hole punch. And then these 2 are kind of got the little little design up at the top. And it's a small and a big one. So you will get pockets and tags in that order. Off the top of my head, I don't remember. I want to say 5. That one's not it. This one's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nope. So you get 10 pockets and 10 sets of 6 stamped or tags to go with it. So this is one pack, and I also always include the cutouts of these. Some people find ways to use them. They're great to use in making clusters. So I do try to include those whenever possible. So this glues down on the page. You fold those gussets under, and then you have a pocket here, a pocket here, and a pocket here. You could glue these on, and then these tops be pockets as well, but I like them better glued down because you already get six tags, and to put more little tags in there would make this very bulky. So I opted not to do that. So again, these will be available in the store. Oops, I bumped my mouse and closed my screen. Turn my mouse off so that I don't do that again. So this one, I'm scanning, I'm trying to find. This one you get one, two, I can't count. Two. Here's the little pieces. So 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So you get 14 pockets, 2 of each style. And again, you get the cutouts of that. And when these are ordered, again, I will ask them if they would like slots cut in them or not. So just kind of backtrack a minute on that one. And then on this one, this set, you get 1, 2, 3, looks like 10. Yes, 2 of each. 2 of each times 5 plus all the cutouts. So there's those 1, 2, 3. There's those 3. This is the next one, very similar to that last one, except the pockets are straight and the decorative is wavy. You only get 1 of these, so you have to cut it out 3 separate times to get 3 little pouches there. It's also, just like the rest, it is a gusseted a gusseted pocket, so you don't lose that real estate. And you get 6 tags with each pocket set. Okay, so 2 of each pocket or tag style for each set of pockets. And with this, you will get ten pockets with the extra pieces, the cut out pieces, plus all the tags. This is the first, like, construction. Well, let me skip this one for a moment. So I got one more little set of pockets. They're little. They're smaller. They don't come with tags, so you do have to create your own tags. If you want designed tags, I do have a small tag listing that would make things small enough to fit into these little pockets. It is gusset again, just like the rest of them. Although this one you do fold on the dotted line, whereas the other one you didn't. So you get that, and you get 10 of those, plus the cutouts. I think that's all of my new pockets. I did add a slot pocket die into my previous set on Etsy. I think I'm updated on that. I'm pretty sure. Make sure I have no more pockets. Oh, I do have this pocket. Okay, so these, I debated on whether or not to include these in the previous ones or to go ahead and create its own listing. And I've decided I'm going to do it as its own listing because it is very specified. It cuts out the groove as well as these little star shapes. Let's see, watch, I'll pop these out. Boop, boop. See, and then you have all these little stars, plus you have this cute little squiggle line. And you will get all of those, you'll get that squiggle line and all these little stars included in your order. Oh, no, I take that back. I didn't include them. But there's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's 4 pockets per order. If you do want the little squiggle and all the little stars that are cut out, there'll be a variation, an option on there to choose that when you order, because then I'll know to save them rather than just go like this and go shoop off my table onto my floor. That's where all my die cut mess ends up, is down there on the floor. Watch. Oop. Nope, can't see it. But it's down there. My husband says it looks like like a unicorn farted in my craft room. Alright, so that, I believe, is the last of the pockets. So let's do some of the structured stuff next. There's that one. There's this one. And there's that one. So what I mean by structured is stuff that has to be glued and put together. Okay, so I have different things. So this is a tag pocket. I did this one with a magnet, but at the end of the day, I chose to create a belly band using this, and there's a belly band around it, and this whole thing will slide off. And I did that because even though I'm using my big magnets here, once I put stuff in here, it doesn't really want to hold that well. You know, it tends to do that and flop open. You know, with the slightest little bump from the back, it pops the magnet. And those are the strongest magnets I had. So the ones that are going into my shop will have it'll be a belly band rather than a magnet. But it has string out the top, which I did not put on my sample, but it opens up and it's got a pocket here, and these pockets are gusseted, so they are roomy. Pockets here, pocket here, so pocket, 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 and it will come with some coordinating tags. This one I covered in Medieval Mirage digital print, so I used their prints to make the tags, but yours will be coordinated with other stuff. So this is what it folds up into. So kind of a nifty little tag. I have this. Okay. So this folds up like this. See how cute and tiny it is. This would fit into a pocket. It is quite bulky for a journal. So you do have to keep that in mind. I will be doing these with 24-pound paper of different colors as the backing, and then scrapbook paper for the cover, for the pocket decorations, and then a combination of supplies for the individual tags. These will be selling as individuals in my Etsy shop, so you pay for one at a time. Like those, and then now this sample, hopefully you can wrap your mind around a little bit. I constructed my sample just so that it displayed all the different styles. I am going to have to get stronger magnets because this attaches with a magnet or a Velcro strip. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do there yet. But this is a waterfall. I don't know what you want to call it. But if these were all matching, you know, they're designed to flip up like this, you know, dunk, and you put something, you know, something on each one. You could decorate the front. These are glued on, but they're supposed to go here. Ooh, I gotta fix that. So if I did all of them in this would be the flap that closes it closed. If I did them all in this is the flap that, you know, so normally this would be wide open for you to put stuff on, decorate, and then you flip it over and you've got your writing space. Grab, do I have any washi? I do not have any out. I'll fix that while I'm at it. It's not going to match, but it's okay because this is just my sample. Okay. Now this is all from one design. So you have the little side notch here. Got a little whoop woo, an arc. A bumpy, can't really see that from down there. A little bumpy edge. A little tab, a bigger tab, and then a littler tab. That's off of one. Or you get the pages that with the lumpy down here, and it goes up this way. And there will be 5 pages of this one as well. So 5 pages of any one of these designs. That's something you'll pick when you order, or 5 of this one. On the flap, you will also have the option to have the star, the circle, or the heart as your decoration at the top of your tab. So they call these, this is a waterfall. This slot pocket I've added into my slot pocket collection, and I've split that in 2 also. So now there will be a set 1 and a set 2 of the slot pockets. So if you've ordered those slot pockets from me in the past, make sure you're aware that there's 2 different sets now. I've split the old listing in half. So make sure you're ordering the right set for the pockets that you really enjoy. They're temporarily on hold because one of my dies I'm trying to sharpen. It's the favorite of everybody. I'm trying to sharpen it, and if I can't sharpen it, I need to reorder it. So my slot pocket listing is currently inactive. Okay, now for some fun. So this is my Halloween pack. There is a current listing for this. There's pumpkins, there's jack-o'-lanterns, there's witches, black cats, all kinds of different Halloween themed ghosts, Halloween themed die cuts in here, some bats. Well, what I've also added to them, not to this actual set, these will be their own sets, but there's pumpkins, and I believe there's 25 in here, if I remember correctly. All kinds of different, faces that you can order them as a set. And then also I have these spider web corners. I'll figure out which way the bag opens here. Now these are kind of fun because if you're a spooky decorator person, you don't have to be a junk journaler. You can use these and put them up just as decorations, like, up on your wall or on the corner of a table or something, just to add a little spice. And they're made of paper, so they're light, and you can throw them away at the end if or if you're really careful pulling them off of whatever you put them on, you can use them another year. Some decorations, a big old spider, just a regular old spider web, and then a pumpkin. So if you imagine this as a book page, a journal page, you put it down here in a corner. Let me find a piece of paper. So if you are a journaler, you've got your signature page, and this can either go on this page right here at the fold, or it can be on the end, like you open up the page and you can put it here. But the corners are awesome. They're a cute way to, just add a little bit of spice. A little spice to your journal pages. I don't remember off the top of my head how many of these are in the set. You'll just have to refer back to the listing for that. And when I'm cutting out these, whatever scraps are left over that can fit this die, I'll give you as many spiders as I can cut out from your particular scraps. I don't dig into my other scraps to do it. I will go from whatever scraps are created doing your stuff. So like this, I would use all these big spaces like this to try to cut stuff out, extra stuff. So this is, like this would be left over from one person's order, and I'd have this whole section down here to cut out extra stuff. Hope that made sense. Okay, so there, if you're into Halloween, I know it's halfway through October. It's a little late for those, but you know, they're there. And if you're already following my Etsy, you know they're there already. So now this is a previous set that I had. I used to have just these coffee rings, but I ordered these little splatters and I've added them to the set and updated the listing. So you get all of these. Where's the bowl? You get all of these in an order. And again, anything that's left over from cutting into your paper, any place that I can find where I can add more of these, fit them in just in those tiny, like these tiny little gaps. Like this, if it was, I could put that one there. I could grab it, maybe this one, and fit another one. And so you'll get extras of some stuff. And then we got stuff like this where I can maybe squeeze it, right here. You see what I'm saying? So of the smaller stuff, you will usually get more of those. You'll get a minimum amount for the order, but then you'll get the extra pieces simply because whatever paper I used, I had space like that where I could add the dies, the smaller dies to give you more pieces. Hope that makes sense. I feel like I'm not explaining myself very well. So these are coffee / tea stained. I could do them in red, and you can pretend it's Kool-Aid stains, or whatever. These, I have some cut out, but I didn't do all of them. So these are two different sets of square doilies. These are double layers. So you have a base layer and then the top layer that you cut out. So you have the top layer, and then this is the bottom of that one. And then these four I don't have cut out. But you will get all of these in one set as a complete order. I don't know if I've got any of those cut out yet and prepared in my store. Doesn't look like it. No. So I do need to get some of those put in the store. But they will be there. All of these will be listed under the drop-down new. Drop-down menu, go to new. And all of these plus all of the paper, all my coffee stained paper will all be in my store under the new tab for a while. These are paper lace, 3 different types. As you saw, one was sticking out the top. They're long. They're meant to go this way on the paper versus this way. And they don't fit in here, which means they're also not going to fit in my plastic tote. So these are all the designs you'll get in one set. So you have this one. This one. This one. This one with the little hearts. And this one. Could be in this order. Okay, and then this set has 4. So you have this one. Oops. This one. And again, these go across the top of your page. Or they go the top of a pocket. These are a little shorter than the 5.5. These are, you know, these look like they're 5-inch. Whereas this one, these are a little longer than 5.5, so you have to trim it down to make it fit. But as you can see, they're way too short to go lengthwise. Okay, so you have that one. You have this one. You have this one. And this one. In this set. Now it makes me think of Easter eggs. Okay, so there's those. We've got these ones. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now these can go down an edge if you want them to. They'll be a little short on both ends. You can figure out how to put them across here. You can use them to decorate pockets and stuff. These ones are a little finicky. And as you look, I haven't completely punched everything out because again, this is my sample piece. What's packaged over there to go into my shop, all of these little things are punched out. All the extras. There's this one. There's this one, and it's hard to see, but it does have all these little holes to punch out. And all these little holes to punch out. So I didn't punch them out on all of these, because again, this is my sample. But that's the general shape of it. Now this one is a pain. For every 10 times I cut one, I'm able to get all these little things out without ripping them. As you can see, this one's ripped here, it's ripped here, it's ripped there. So what I ended up doing for these, because I was wasting so much paper because I couldn't get those little bobbies out, is each one I've gone by like so and cut that off. If I could get those off the die itself, I would, but it's not in a spot where it breaks off easily. So these little knobby things down here will be cut off, and all of these will be punched out. It's hard to see, but all of this down here is to be punched out. I will admit these are not my favorites. They're kind of a pain to cut out because a lot of them don't want to come loose. See, and this won't fit in here, which means it won't fit in my box because my box is the same width as these bags. And then this last set, whoops. These actually cut completely out. They're not, there's no straight edge on them. So you can put them anywhere on a page. You can use it to decorate, you know, like if you did a belly band, you can decorate a belly band with them. They are roughly that 8.25 to 8.5 long. So you could, in theory, put them on the edge of a paper. But because they're just made out of cardstock, like this one you wouldn't want necessarily to hang over the edge of your paper like this. because all those little pieces are going to get bent up. So you can use it on an edge. You're probably going to have to put it in a little bit, but anyway, so there is this one. This one's a little finicky because it's so what does she call them? I think she does call them fiddly, but they're so lacy and open, open space. So I have to remove that from the die very carefully, otherwise they tear pieces off. Got this one. This one is pretty sturdy in its construction, so I think this one you could hang over the edge of a paper to some degree. Like you could put it over just a little bit and be okay. It might, it'll get banged up a little bit probably over time, but not as easily as this one would be. You got this one, little daisies. Got this one, little roses. And then this one. I don't know what kind of flowers those are. But very pretty, botanicals, flowers, or florals. And these also do not fit in my 6-inch envelope because they are, over 8 inches each. So they get to stand up for now, and then I got to figure out a secondary storage system, which I was not wanting to do. So I'm gonna be able to keep them all in one storage system, but I now have several die sets that don't fit within the confines of my envelopes. So this is going to be listed as set 1, 2, 3, or 4. Again, there'll be pictures of each one, so you'll know which set you want to order if you don't want to order all 4. Now, along with those, if you've seen my new paper packs, you'll see that I've done some signature pages with the top and bottom being decorative. I have all of these that will do that. This is not a cutting edge, so when I run it through the die cut this way, it's going to cut all these little this bottom ledge here, and it's going to cut out these little hearts, and it's going to put, the little dots. This is going to cut along this bottom edge, cut out the little whoop-woo-woos, and it's going to cut all of the little flowers out, but it's going to give you a pretty little edge. You go this way. You put the non-cutting edge toward the part that you don't want cut. And then run it through that way, and then I turn it over, run it through this way, and it gives a decorative edge on both sides. I have not done samples of these yet, which is why they're not filed away. The only one that I have used so far is this one right here, and that's on the signature pages that are already listed in my shop. So I will be doing samples of all of these on individual signature pages. I just haven't done it. I haven't done it yet. Okay. Now this set will be added. I have currently in my store already, I have a listing for film strips, and I have purchased these to go along with that set. So what you get is Now it does come with all these little squares to, cut pictures out for all of those, but I'm not gonna use that in the sale part of it because that's a lot for me to, color matching and all of that. So you'll get 5 of these. These are from the original set. 5 of those. 5 of these. And the reason these are in here is because I need to build this set up with my new set. So and then you'll get 5 of these that look like the old what do you call those? Viewmasters. So you'll see those here. You get 5 of these and 5 of these. And then you also will get, and I've already put this die set away. This is another one that doesn't fit in the compartment, so they're just sitting, it sits on the top of everything. So you'll get 5, or you only get 3 of these big ones. Sorry, you'll get 5 of everything else, but you get 3 of these big ones. And they are 2-piece. You can use them individually or separately. So you got this piece here, and then this can go on the back. So then your back is designed. So you have looks like film strip here. You can see like that. Or you can use these as 2 separate pieces. All of these, there will be an option to include sheets of acetate to go behind all of these windows, or them to be just open face like this. Again, that'll be an option for you to choose when you place your order. So there's that one. Okay. These 5, I gotta make a set of the new ones to go with this one. I think this is called Film It. I wish I had these when I was doing a journal for somebody who did show tune movies and stuff. So this is my snowflake collection. Okay. And you get one of each. One of each. And there's a lot in here. I can't even count them. I mean, I could, but there's a lot. So if you like snowflakes, if you like different, go for it. And like it said before, these are cut out on white shimmer paper or silver. Some of them has like a silvery cream color almost tint to them. But regardless, both of it is shimmery paper and not, other colors. I do have some shimmer paper in other colors, not very much. So when ordering, if there's a specific color you want, you can ask, and I may or may not have it in shimmer paper. Otherwise, I'll assume that you want it in what I have. So, more crumbs. Okay. I had some of these already in my shop, and I've added two. So this, and this were already in my shop. I've added this and this, oops, it's backwards, it's upside down, this, and this all go with it. So I've cut out and I've tried to leave enough around the edges. This one, it turned out to be my sample one because it didn't cut very well, and I tore it trying to get the pieces out. But you can't tell. It's meant to look like a keyboard. And this one's just like sound, like sound bars on a stereo. And then you put music notes over the top of it. So, how you use them is up to you. You get four? Yes, four of each. But you get all of these pieces in the order. So, music people, especially those that like, this is, obviously I think this is probably, if not obvious to anybody else, this is my favorite cymbal. I'm drawn to it for whatever reason. Fairies. I already had a little fairy set, and I ordered more to go with it. So you get like all of these different fairies, and they will come in the usual neutral, colored, or patterned paper. You can request color families if you want, say you want them all to be in shades of pink. Then I will pull out all the pink paper that I have, and I'll cut these all out using, the different shades of pink. But you get five of each design, and there's 20 fairies. So you get 100 designs. Again, you'll find them on my Etsy. Off the top of my head, without looking, I couldn't tell you how much I've listed them for, but they're in there. Oh, more paper ones. Coming to the end. This is 2 sets. I bought one set. I bought this set first, and then I was like, I want more than that. So you get these right here. So you get 2 light posts of 2 different styles. You get candles, banners, and like nameplates, plus vines, and you get 4 sets of each. And then I ordered this set separately, just to add to it. So you'll get 4 of these as well. So 4 of each of the main pieces. I cut out as many of these signs, and these 3 are individual pieces, and so I cut out as many of those as I could off the scraps that come from the particular order. So you will always get more than 4 of these lanterns, more than 4 of these lanterns, more than 4 of these top pieces, and more than 4 of the signs. So keep that in mind as well. Yeah, they're really pretty cool. You don't come out of here very nicely, especially not these. But you've got a lamppost and a vine, so you can take this and actually like weave it. You know, like so, around your lamppost. Let go. Let go. Thank you. So when you glue it down, you know, when you glue it down, then your vine is spiraling around your lamppost. Okay, I'm just going to leave that on there. And then the other set has smaller lampposts. Oh, birdies. And again, you get 4 of everything plus extra of the littler pieces. And then last but not least is I have alphabets. Lots and lots of it. And I actually have one more on coming. These can be cut out in the same neutrals, colors, patterns, so they're all mixed and matched. They're not the same. They can be cut all out of a single color. They can be cut out of color families. It just depends on you, and you'll let me know that when you order. These ones are very spindly. That's what she calls them, spindly. Very thin little letters. In fact, I can show you. Let's see if I can do it without knocking this out. This is them. Very thin letters, and they're only in capitals. So they're all uppercase. I can't get my book back up there. Because my other one wants to get in its way. So there's those ones. And you'll get three of each. Some of them have upper and lower. Some of them only have upper. So I'll show you the ones that have only uppercase first. I have those ones. These ones that are only uppercase. Well, it's going to take a couple out. So like here's the F. The F and the U. And the H. So I'll put them this way so you can see how they're. So the F, U, and the H. They are like 7/8 tall. They're like 7/8 by 7/8, roughly. Whereas these ones, the first ones I showed you. Only one. These ones are 1.25 inches by like 7/8, 7 inch. So I have those that are uppercase only, and then this set is uppercase only. These ones are cool. They're very Western style. So they look like. Oh, like where's my camera? Like that. Lots of swirlies and decoration. Very fancy. And they are like 1 inch by 3/4 inch. And these ones are these ones have upper and lowercase. These ones are fancy and cursive, so they're meant to like put close together, so that when you glue them, it looks like one continuous word. Like this is the F. And you can see it's got the tail right here to go off into the next letter. So like you would glue them down like so and touch them so that the F and the O go together. And the O's got a tail. So they do kind of lead off of each other. And you'll get 3 sets of each, upper and lowercase. These will not be wrapped, you know, as you've seen some of the other stuff where I've wrapped them together. These big ones I've wrapped like that. These little ones are too hard to do that, so they're actually just loose in a bag. Like this. So when you get them, you'll have to figure out your storage system and how you want to do that. Same with these ones. These ones will be loose in its own bag. And again, these are upper and lower, but they're more block style. Just get a couple out here. So there's the M, the V, the F, the Q. I forgot to measure those other ones. But these are like 1/2 inch by 5/8 for on the capitals, on the uppercase, and like half by half on the lowercase, roughly. So again, with the alphabets, you'll get 3 of each, regardless if it's just the upper or the upper and the lower. You get 3 of each, and multiple ways in which the color can be. So they can be sold either a mix of neutrals, a mix of colors, a mix of patterned paper, or all in one color family. Buyer's choice. So again, so I do have this die cut set that I can't make, like I said in the beginning, because this piece does not fit in my hand crank die set or cutting machine, so I can't make them until I get that figured out. So that is all my new die sets for my Etsy shop. I got a lot of picture taking and listing to do. So I hope you check it out, and hopefully you find something in there that you like. So with that, I'm gonna bid you adieu and say thank you very much for watching, and we will catch you in the next video.